As you may or may not know, I monetized my channel on March 13th, 2023, and in the 365 days since then, my channel has accumulated 1.6 million views, 123,000 watch time hours, 20,800 subscribers, and an estimated revenue of and 5 cents. Just kidding, I'm not gonna make it that easy for you. So what's up and welcome to my channel. Hi if you're new here, hi if you're not. My name's Danielle. I make a lot of content here on YouTube, specifically debunking and talking about the predatory and problematic behaviors found in the life and business coaching spaces. But occasionally I also like to make videos about the behind the scenes of building a YouTube channel. And my intention here by sharing this kind of content is really just to hopefully pull back the curtain behind a lot of the mysteries around creating content on the internet. That being said though, let this be a warning that this is not a YouTube growth channel. So please do not subscribe if that's the kind of content you're looking for. However, please do consider giving this video a thumbs up if you do like this content, and I have timestamps included in this video so you can feel free to skip ahead to whatever information you're looking for. Let's get into the month by month breakdown. So in the original video that I posted last April talking about how much money YouTube paid me for my first 30 days as a monetized creator, I go over in more detail the actual process of getting monetized on YouTube. Also, my friend Kea recently did a video, which I'll try and link up in the cards here as well in the description down below, where she goes over the same kind of concept. So if that's something that you're looking for information about, you can check out either of those videos. For the purpose of this video today, I'm just gonna get right into sharing the numbers. So as I mentioned, my first day monetized on YouTube was March 13th, 2023. And on that first day, I made $1.29, which I have said many times in many of the videos where I've talked about monetization on YouTube, but this was like so exciting to me because for some reason I thought I would make like 5 cents. And so the fact that I made $1.29 was like, this is legit. Okay, so a fun fact about me is that I am a spreadsheets girly. I keep meticulous track of how many subscribers I'm getting week to week, month to month. I track every single video's analytics for the first day, 7 days, 28 days, and I'm tracking my income every day, every week, every month, day over day, seeing how much money I'm making on average and so on. I keep the data on lock. And I share this because I don't have official screenshots from the YouTube studio showing how many subscribers I started each month with, but I did keep track in my spreadsheet. So I'm gonna share those numbers because I think it will help to provide a little bit more context as we move through how much money I was making each month. So on March 1st, which was 2 weeks before I was invited into the YouTube partner program, I had 1,041 subscribers. During that month, I posted 13 videos and I went live 7 times. And throughout that period, my channel received 10,500 views. So during that month, or rather the time period between March 13th and March 31st, which was when I was actually making money, I made $87.80. My highest paying day was March 23rd at $19.02. And my lowest paying day was March 13th, again, my first day, where I made $1.29. So I'll pop the chart up on the screen here, but you can see of that $87 I made, the majority came through AdSense, which is when YouTube places ads on your videos. And you can pause to read the rest if you're interested in that breakdown. Now, moving on to April, I started this month with 1,335 subscribers. I posted 12 long form videos and I did 13 live streams, which that's literally putting content out every day. I don't know how I had the time to do that. That is insane. Now, during the month of April, my channel received very similar views to March at 10,400 views. But the difference between March and April was that rather than only getting paid for about half the month, which was the case for March, in April, I got paid for all of my content from April 1st to April 30th. So that being said, my grand total for April was $194.93, with April 13th being my highest paying day at $22.40, and my lowest paying day being April 15th at $1.10. And so I think that this is a pretty good representation of how much your income can fluctuate, not only month to month, but day to day here on the platform. And so again, if we look at the monthly breakdown, you'll see that 48% of my revenue came directly from AdSense. And then I also launched my channel membership in April of last year. So you can pause here and see that if you want to see the breakdown again. So between March and April, again, I was getting paid for a longer period of time, but my revenue basically doubled, which was super exciting again. I was actually making money money from YouTube, and it was more than like the $5 that I expected. So that was really exciting to think about. And the thing with YouTube is that you have to generate over $100 in order for you to receive your payout. So when I got paid for April, I was actually getting paid for April and March. So my first paycheck was over $200, which was pretty incredible. So moving on to the month of May, I started the month with 1,650 subscribers. Over the course of the month, I posted 11 videos and I did 9 live streams. Now, the video that I mentioned earlier about how much YouTube paid me for my first 30 days of monetization started to pop off in May. So my channel actually ended up receiving 170,000 views on my long form content. And that was obviously a lot more than the previous 2 months. So you can see on the chart here on the screen that right around mid-month, May 17th to be exact, things really started to take off because that video had hit the homepage. So if we take a look at the revenue, you're going to see here that my revenue basically mirrors what was happening with my views. So for the entire month of May, I ended up making $1,045.98. And you can see that after May 17th is where that graph really starts to pick up. So my lowest paying day in May was May 7th at $1.18. And then my highest paying day was May 22nd at $111.96. So again, this is really demonstrating that drastic fluctuation of what can happen here day to day. And so if we take a look at the breakdown again, you're going to see that the majority of my revenue came from AdSense at 81%, which again was a big increase from April, because in April, my revenue from AdSense was about 48%, and now it was like almost double that. So again, if you're interested in this, you can pause to read the rest. Now, moving into June, I started the month with 5,819 subscribers, which, yes, if you can do the math, that's a 250% increase from May. So crazy. In June, I only posted 7 videos and I did 5 live streams, but overall, the views on my channel were way up, and I actually ended up receiving over 200,000 views, which the majority, again, were coming from that single video. Now, my total revenue in June, which, spoiler alert, was actually my highest paying month for this entire 12-month period, was $2,014.77, with my highest paying day being June 6th at $170.93, and my lowest paying day being June 29th at $34.06. So overall, at this point, I was feeling really excited, super grateful. And again, you can see on this chart here that 90% of that revenue came from AdSense. And again, I'll leave it on the screen here if you want to pause and read the rest. Now let's move on to July. So I started the month of July with 9,823 subscribers. And by July 3rd, I actually hit 10K. Now, I will also mention that in July of 2023, my partner and I also moved, so I was producing significantly less content. I only posted 5 videos and I went live 3 times. And so as a result, my views on my long form videos were down significantly from June. And so for the month of July, I received about 125,000 views on my channel. And not surprisingly, my revenue also reflected this decline in views. So in July, my total revenue came out to $1,596.08, which honestly I was still super happy about. My highest paying day was July 8th at $99.36, and this was actually the same day that I did my 10K live stream. And so I actually made the majority of this almost $100 through fan funding. So things like super thanks, gifted memberships, donations, and so on. Which, by the way, I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who is in my membership. Particularly, let's shout out the channel Millionaire VIPs, as well as my rich friends over in the billionaire tier. If you're interested in learning more about my channel membership, you can click the join button down below. Now, my lowest paying day in July was actually the day before my highest paying day, and it was $26.30 on Friday, July 7th. Now, the monthly breakdown for July looked similar to other months. The only difference was that my membership revenue had actually passed my YouTube premium payouts. And so you can see here that 87% of my revenue was coming from AdSense, close to 5% was coming from memberships, and then just less than 4% was coming from those YouTube premium subscriptions. Now, moving on to August, I started the month with 12,400 subscribers. Again, a somewhat slow month for content. I only posted 7 videos and I went live 5 times. And once again, my views were down from the previous month. So I had about 116,000 views, and similar to July, my overall revenue came out to $1,566.12. My highest paying day was Friday, August 25th at $75.80, and my lowest paying day was Sunday, August 20th at $30.25. So again, looking at the chart here, it's no surprise that AdSense is the highest contributor, but we also had a large portion of revenue coming from memberships and gifted memberships, which combined together was about 10%, which is really cool. And again, I want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who supports my channel through memberships, especially those of you doing it on a monthly basis. I truly appreciate you so, so much. Now we have September. So I started the month of September with 14,308 subscribers. I posted 6 videos and I went live 5 times. Now my views continued to trend downward in September and I got about 60,000, but I've heard this is actually pretty common for this month because people are going back to school, they're getting back into their routine, and they're just spending less time on the internet. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I tell myself to help myself feel better. Now, my total revenue for September came out to $1,076.15. My highest paying day was $92.36 on September 4th, and my lowest paying day was September 10th at $21.76. As you'll see here, AdSense and memberships remained my top 2 income sources, and again, you can pause here if you want to read. Now moving on to October, I started the month with 15,350 subscribers. I went live 9 times and I posted 3 videos. My views stayed pretty consistent with the month prior, so I was at 61,000 views, and my total overall revenue was $893.45. My highest paying day was Wednesday, October 11th at $57.36, and my lowest paying day was Saturday, October 7th at $19.20. You can see here, once again, my highest revenue source was YouTube AdSense at about 80%, 10% came from memberships, and then 5% came from YouTube Premium. In November, I began the month with 16,400 subscribers. I went live again 9 times, and I posted 5 long-form videos. My views were relatively similar to October. I had 58,900 views, and I made $994.21. My highest paying day was November 20th at $78.90, and my lowest paying day was $17.21 on November 7th. Slight fluctuations here in the percentages, but again, AdSense is at the top, followed by memberships and YouTube Premium. Moving on to December, we started the month with 17,434 subscribers. I posted 12 videos, so if you are new here, in December, I participated in my version of Vlogmas, I guess, where I did the 12 days of Coachmas, posting 1 video every day for 12 days straight, talking about things that were happening in the coaching industry. I'll actually link the playlist here if you're new and you're interested in getting caught up. But yeah, basically I posted 12 long form videos and then I also did 9 live streams. My views were slightly up for December, probably as a result of posting those 12 videos. So I hit 82,000 views and my overall revenue was $1,176.91. December 13th was my highest paying day at $87.55, and my lowest paying day was December 8th at $18.75. You'll see here that AdSense was about 79% of my total revenue, and my memberships were actually up that month at 13%. Moving on to January of this year, in 2024, I started the year with 18,700 subscribers, which is an actual insane comparison to where I started in January of 2023 when I had 434 subs. So thank you so much to anyone who has been here on this journey with me. And I actually think it would be fun if you would leave a comment down below that tells me when you found my channel, when you joined me along this journey. Were you here when I had 500 subs? Were you here when I had 20,000? When did you find me? Now, in the month of January, I posted 7 long form videos and I did 5 live streams. This is when we really started getting into a consistent schedule of going live every week. So I'm gonna guess that it's probably around 5 or 4 live streams every month from here on out. Now, my total views for January were 83,000, which was similar to that of December, and I ended up making $1,138.41. My highest paying day was actually January 1st at $58.41, and then my lowest paying day was January 31st, so the last day of the month, at $23.57. No surprise here, we have AdSense being the top sort of generator of revenue, followed by memberships and YouTube Premium. Now, moving into February, we started February 1st with 20,003 subscribers, which is still so crazy to me thinking back to last February when I didn't even have 1,000 subs yet. So thank you. Okay, so forget what I previously said about probably only going live once a week. Apparently in February, I lost my mind and I went live 9 times and I posted 4 long form videos. My views were around 77,800, which is slightly less than January, but relatively similar. And I ended up making $1,168.15, with my highest paying day being Tuesday, February 13th at $65.95, and my lowest paying day being February 28th at $23.20. Again, pause to read, very similar story for February as to all the months previous that we've looked at. Now, we have finally made it to March of 2024, but because I got monetized mid-March, March 13th, 2023, what I did here was I figured it would only be fair to look up until March 12th and including March 12th of 2024. So with that being said, I came into March with 21,280 subscribers. In the first half of March, I went live 3 times and I posted 2 long form videos. My channel in that 12-day period accumulated 29,000 views and I made a total of $438.21. My highest paying day was March 5th at $54.32, and my lowest paying day was Thursday, March 7th at $22.68. Not surprisingly, the breakdown shows 77% of that revenue coming from AdSense, 14% coming from memberships, and 7% coming from YouTube Premium. So, over the course of the period from March 2023 to March 2024, my channel gained over 20,700 subscribers. Thank you so much. If that's you, I'm like still in disbelief, honestly. In that same time frame, my channel accumulated over 1.6 million views, which is truly insane to me. And of course, the moment we've all been waiting for. From March 13th of 2023 to March 12th of 2024, my grand total of revenue from the YouTube Partner Program was, drop your guesses below, $13,488.23. I actually cannot believe that number, like saying it out loud. And so in similar fashion to this video, I will pop up the breakdown on the screen here for you to pause to read if you're interested. But not surprisingly, it looks very similar to what it did month to month. Okay, one thing I wanted to say here that I think is so important for aspiring or current YouTube creators to hear, well, actually it's probably a couple things, but we'll start with thing number 1. That is that, first of all, just because I made $13,000 in my first 12 months of being monetized on YouTube, doesn't mean that yours is going to look the exact same. You might get the same amount of views as me, you might get more, you might get less. Even still, even if you had identical metrics to me, you had the same amount of subscribers, the same amount of views on your video, you posted the same amount of content, our payouts could be drastically different. And ultimately, this comes down to CPM and RPM. So CPM is cost per mil, and it is the cost that the advertiser pays in order to get 1,000 impressions. Whereas RPM is rate per mil, and that's how much you as the creator receive per 1,000 video views. And these amounts can vary drastically from video to video based on the contents of your channel, the topic of your video, and ultimately the audience that is actually watching your stuff. Now, for curiosity's sake, I figured I would share my average CPM and RPM for the entire year. You can see here it's broken down month by month, and you can see how much this varies here because in some months my RPM is less than $5 and in other months it's over $12. So if my channel were to get 100,000 views and my RPM is $10, I might make $1,000. But if my channel gets 100,000 views and my RPM is only $2, then I'm only gonna make $200. And so this is why it's so important to just understand that what is true for me might not be the same for you. And a big part of that plays into the demographics of your audience. People who actually have money to spend are a lot more expensive for advertisers to try and reach. So I'll put a breakdown on the screen here, but you'll see that my audience is primarily located in the US, Canada, and the UK, and over 98% of them are over the age of 18. And so demographics like this actually have a higher CPM and therefore RPM than a channel who might target children or people that live in a lesser developed country. Not to mention, certain niches like tech, finance, and business tend to pay more money than those like gaming or lifestyle or content that targets children. So please just keep that in mind when you're comparing your own YouTube journey to mine. Now, second piece I wanted to mention, because this came up in the comments on my original monetization video, is that I don't get to take home the entire $13,000 that I made from YouTube. Well, yes, Canada and the US have a tax treaty, so Google, the company that owns YouTube, is based in the US. When they pay me money, I don't actually pay any US taxes on that money. And so the $13,488 that I made is actually what I received in my bank account. However, if you're new here, hi, hello, I am actually a small business owner, freelance content creator. I have multiple streams of revenue, and YouTube is one of those streams in my business. And so what that means is that at tax time, I have to report to the CRA, which is like the Canadian version of the IRS, that YouTube paid me $13,000, and then I'm going to be responsible for paying anywhere from 15 to 30% of that total to the Canadian government as part of my income tax. I mean, I already filed my taxes for 2023, so I've already paid that percentage of most of this money. But the point is, as a YouTube creator, you're essentially an independent contractor of Google, and you are therefore responsible for reporting the income that you're making and accounting for any taxes that you might owe on that money. Just wanted to add that in there as an aside, because I think sometimes people might think like, oh, free money, this is amazing, and then not set aside money for taxes, and then tax season comes, and all of a sudden you're like, I gotta come up with thousands of dollars that I don't have because I already spent it. So if you're an aspiring or current YouTube partner, I would just recommend that every time you receive a paycheck from Google, you put aside a percentage of that money into a separate account where you're not gonna touch it. I hope that helps. Of course, as always, if you have questions, you can let me know in the comments down below. Once again, thank you so much to each of you here on this content creation journey with me. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if this was helpful. Only subscribe if you wanna hear me talk about scams. And I will leave you on screen here with a video that shows you how to get started on YouTube if perhaps you're new here, okay? Take care, comb your hair, and I'll see you in my next video maybe. Okay, bye!